what made you start the foundation? What was it at some point you said, okay, I've been blessed, I need to give back? What was that moment like? Tell me a little bit about that.
Mom told me years ago, the philosophy was simple. You only live to give back. We can't act like these moments don't exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about how fast we move in life to jump past those moments that quick.
That's a teaching moment. That's a teaching
Those
moment.
are what
right
foundations established by.
Yeah.
Those moments. That foundation reached out to somebody that would never have found it.
What message would you like to send to parents that are watching this, that would like to get some of what you're talking about?
Wow.
How do you start?
Wow.
How do you start that?
I think you start easily, man. Take control of our home again. But so many kids are going so many other different places because of what they're distracted by. They don't want to love no more. They don't want to sit at home around the table and have dinner as a family.
Yeah.
And understand what that means, and we all pray together.
Yeah.
Understand what we mean, and when you leave the house, don't just leave without saying I love you. This might be your last time.
You're right.
That's structure. That's structure from the home, man. From the head. Fathers, if you're not in the house with your child, you are a father. Fathers, making up your mind, not just to pray for them every day, but to find a way to be in their lives every day, no matter where you may find yourself.
But do you see the younger generation less involved with sports and activity now?
You do, but I think that's kind of responsibility of a lot of parents. A lot of parents, you see the single family homes or the single mother home, single father home, whichever way you want to have. They don't have that time because they're out working, so they don't have the time. Like my sister, she's a single mother, so she doesn't really have as much time as she would after work to take my niece and nephew to practices like my mother and father were able to.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of advice would you give to single parent homes about the importance of physical fitness and exercise in their kids' life?
It's very important, period. You see the child obesity rate going up. You see just the obesity rate in America going up, period. And, starting with the children first, I know it's not that easy, but, you got to kind of take some responsibility as a parent,
What's the purpose of Summer Group for you?
Well, one word, education. I wouldn't be here without the contributions of others. My wife, we're huge advocates of education, and we realize that one of the biggest dilemmas right here in our hometown in South Florida is a very vicious cycle of illiteracy. And one of the things that we want to address is we want to provide educational opportunities for kids because we know they have the ability. God blessed them with the ability. Many of them just don't have the resources. And I know that given the right atmosphere, these kids can become productive citizens. They don't have to go to college, but just graduating from high school is a tremendous hurdle here in the community. And when you think about it, I've been extremely blessed, and those blessings weren't given to me just for me. They were given to me to bless others.
The path to success is not easy. And anything worth having in life is worth working for.
Life is not just about sports. It's not just about basketball. And I really have to dedicate and focus on my schoolwork and think about a backup plan.
We have GED programs for the parents because a lot of these kids, at-risk kids, go back home to at-risk families. And we also have a health component where we have all these things and take a holistic approach. We're in the school, we have a relationship with the school board and all of the schools that these kids go to. So we have a relationship with the principals and what have you. So we're able to be in the classroom so we know these kids' teachers. And we got to start as adults being a little bit more responsible and providing that for our kids. We have to provide that world-class education. We can't expect them to figure it out themselves. We got to help them.
If you ask me, do I care? If I want your arms around me, if I really want you here.
As anyone who's been around the Stanley Cup, it's one of the most magnetic trophies. An opportunity where you can bring this dynamic trophy, have kids and families come up to it, be all over it, just enjoy the moment of getting a picture with it. And at the end of the day, you're raising money for families who can't even put a lunch on their table.
So what made you decide to start your foundation?
I think it was basically the fact that once I made it into the NFL, I definitely wanted to give back. I started back immediately once I first came into the NFL. But then when I started my foundation, I wanted to build a legacy of showing how to give and giving responsibly and effectively.
Who's involved with the Phenomenal Four weekend?
Right now, it was started by myself, Marcus Bell, D'Angelo Williams, and Mike McKenzie. I did a camp with Mike McKenzie probably first around my third year in the NFL, and that went well. And then D'Angelo came the following year, and we partnered and did a camp. I believe it's twofold. As I said, one is really targeting the fact that you have so much talent, and those talented kids are basically wasting it and not having the opportunity to go to college. Majority of the times when guys do interviews, they're always talking about, I'm not the best, I'm not the most talented guy. That there's other guys from my neighborhood that were better athletes than me, but they never took the time to get their grades. So that's the big thing that we really emphasize in this camp is there's other things bigger than football. And the second thing is that this weekend is basically a fundraising effort between all four foundations.